You think I should wear a hat or no?
I like the hat just because it's your logo.
Yeah. All right. So.
And we back.
Oh, no. So, to recap from last year, right?
1 year later.
So, you said last year, a herd of children, right? That was 10. This year, it's 150. It has multiplied and grown out. The only way that you could possibly get 150 kids is by removing their parents from the kids, start an orphanage, and call it legal.
I'm not against the idea. I just think the parents...
Hold on. Wait a second.
I just think the parents are, they need to have removed themselves already. Yeah.
Damn. So how's life being a parent?
It's the best. Yeah, it's good. It's fun. There's so much growth in seeing yourself from the other side, What pointers are you?
I have no idea. I haven't done an episode in a while.
Yeah, me neither. A good one?
A good one?
Is that what you're about to say?
Jeez. The low standards. All right, so we're going back to Emily LaFave. This year, she has lowered her standards down to
absolutely
bare minimum.
No bare minimum.
For me, it has been 3 years of figuring out discipline after hitting a level of rock bottom I won't revisit. That was not on there. That's from your Facebook post. What was that level of rock bottom?
Oh, boy. I mean, I think it was... I found myself in a situation and in a relationship with somebody who just wasn't my person. And the last 3 years have solely been about finding myself for the first time. And when I was married young and I had Mason at 19, there's just no time to think about you. And especially when you're relationship hopping in the society that we live in.
Relationship hopping? What do you mean by that?
Like, I was always in a long-term relationship. And there was very little time in between so I could figure out who I was, what the problems that kept arising were in the cycles of men that I was choosing. And so, it's my personality to be a woman in a traditional sense in relationships. And so I would throw myself 100% into what that person needed and not and what their life came with. And not what I had, what table I brought, and what I needed to do for myself and the responsibilities I already had. And so I would just take theirs on, and my stuff kind of like went to the wayside. And then you are with these particular people who like tell you how terrible you can be, and there's no opportunity for growth when you're not sitting in your own stuff for any amount of time. Like you can't fix yourself in a day. You can't fix all of the childhood stuff and all of the bad teenage decisions and all of the, just the things that I 100% individually put myself through, but I kept trying to fix it within other situations that were already broken.
Why? Because I would think that there's it could be female or male, the innate desire to feel seen, feel heard, to be appreciated. Did you get that by being in those relationships, but not realize that what you're trying to see or be seen by is you don't know? Like you don't have a conception of who you are. So by trying to get it from other people, somehow that builds to who you are, but you never actually
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really struggled with wanting to be appreciated, definitely, for the small things that like should be done automatically, because that's all I had to bring to the table at the time. Like the house is clean, your laundry's done, the kids are taken care of. Like all of that is just like regular human things that need to be done regardless. And not that they should not be appreciated, but what are you bringing, like emotional support? What are you bringing spiritually? What are you bringing physically to the table? Like, and not in a sexual way, but like,
Oh, darn. I thought we get that far.
but now having been celibate for a while, that's just not something I don't believe that's something that you should bring to the table until you're married. And that's kind of a covenant that I've, come to take on.
Depending on where you want to go with the tangent, emotional or sexual. Emotionally, how has the last year been to you? You haven't really changed too much, but how have you refined yourself? That, or by you being celibate, how does that change your emotion, your internal relationship with yourself? Because there's a what do you call it? Like a roadblock in a sexual desire, whichever way you want to go.
I guess we'll start with the emotional side. This year has really been about refining reactions to things and not taking literally anything personally. There's been a lot of forgiveness. There's been a lot of obedience to where the Lord is taking my journey, and understanding that a locked door is still direction towards something greater. Having boredom and allowing it to foster positivity and learning who you are when you're bored is a big, I think very little people explore that enough. And too many people go into boredom as a negative thing instead of utilizing that time to really fulfill your cup, instead of trying to like shove things in it that don't really belong. And then on the sexual side of that, lust is a huge issue in our society. And
for you, I don't give a flip about society. For you.
Yeah, but it's so put upon us, and I struggled with it for so long. And there's a...
Was it like a substitute for emotion, for validation?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that goes without being said. But it also... It's just kind of what I felt was expected. Expected
from
the place that I was in, from the people I was surrounding myself with, and having completely stepped away from it, and not even put myself in positions that it can manifest into something I want nothing to do with, has been a huge learning curve. And setting the boundary of it off the bat has also eliminated a lot of misunderstanding and confusion.
What kind of confusion?
When I meet somebody or like a friendship and I set the boundary, like I'm not having sex until I get married. I don't really particularly want to touch anybody until I get married, and so to set that from the get-go prevents, and there's still like issues that arise that I think just happen between two people, that you kind of constantly either have to remove yourself from the situation entirely, or if that person matters to you and they are understanding, then you can set the boundary and continue moving.
Have you read the sexual strategies theory section?
In
your notes.
Well, the problem is that this came out a while ago, and I just got around to.
That's fine.
I did read it.
So from strategies of human mate. So sexual strategies theory is basically the evolutionary standpoint of human evolution, the evolutionary biological standpoint of why humans do the things they do, relationships wise. Mm-hmm. So strategies of human mating Jealousy as an emotion has been proposed as one such evolved defense mechanism. The empirical evidence strongly supports several evolution-based hypotheses about the psychological design of jealousy. Male jealousy, more than women's, is triggered by signals of sexual infidelity and rivals to exceed them on the qualities that women are known to want to intimate, such as good financial prospects. Women's jealousy, more than men's, is activated by signals of emotional infidelity and hence potential long-term diversion of commitments, as well as by rivals who exceed them on facial and bodily attractiveness. It's okay. I don't care.
Because it is so much easier for women to sleep with men. And nope.
There's a lot
Not
of
to
dogs.
wait.
It's fine. Are you more, I don't want to say worried because you're going to be like, well, I'm not worried about anything. Would you be more worried about sexual infidelity or emotional infidelity?
I don't care about infidelity. It doesn't apply to me.
No. For the person that you want to be with. Because you're putting that boundary of, I don't want to have sex right now. But that also means that there could be emotional infidelity or there could be sexual infidelity. Mm-hmm. Are you worried about one or the other, or are you just...
No, because if that ever happens, then it's not my person.
Okay.
Yeah, then out. We never need to speak again. Just pack your shit up and go. It's fine.
Are you worried about being single for the rest of your life?
No.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
First of all, I don't care if I am. And second of all, I just know that's not how my story is going to play out. So until I'm not single, then I'm having the time of my life. And whenever that happens, it'll be worth the wait. So I'm not worried about anything. And I think I used to be worried about a lot of... I played it off nonchalantly, but I am very chalant. I'm a very chalant person. And I'm not worried about anything. It's just that the things that matter to me take precedent to me now.
What matters to you?
Well, Mason, obviously.
Well, duh.
Making sure that I treat everyone with, the level of kindness that I am capable of giving every day. Being in the Word, going to church, continuing with the hobbies that I enjoy, taking care of all these dogs.
How would you define kindness? Because that's one of the most, through like a bunch of different research papers, that's one of the strongest attraction qualities. Mm-hmm. How would you define kindness?
Goes like everyone knows it's not what nice is, right?
How do you define it?
I think kindness is a mix of empathy, honesty, and self-love, and to be able to care for somebody else and tell them what's going on in a way that they're going to hear, understand, and know that it's coming from a place of goodness and well-intended. It's not coming from anything malicious. And because, you can tell people they're messing their lives up or they're doing something incorrectly from a place of like, I'm concerned about you.
Yeah, no tone of voice.
Right. And I will say, like, there's a lot of times where I say things that are well-intended with a tone that I always mean in a joking way. So it doesn't always land in the way that I want it to. But it's never from an ill place.
That was one of my questions. Your tone of voice, from my perspective, mm-hmm. It's very musical, but it also has a lot of vocal fries in it.
Okay.
It sounds nonchalant. It sounds too much nonchalant.
Yeah. I think that comes from just years. It's just habitual of years of trying not to care so much and being nonchalant about things. And I've just come to terms with the fact
why are you trying not to care?
Because caring hurt, and nobody wants to hurt. And I think I just didn't know how to deal with it. and I think I would get so emotionally attached to an outcome, not to the growth part of the situation.
2 questions. First one, and then the second one will depend on what your first answer is. I don't know if I've asked you before. Do you have a separation between feelings and emotions?
Okay, so my note, I say that feelings are data, not direction. So I think your internal emotion about something can direct your path down whatever the answer is you're seeking. And your feeling about it is what you need to take away, because the emotion is going to shift whenever it does. Whereas to take the feeling and use that as a deciding factor to whatever you're doing next is important. But you don't need to make any decisions within a negative emotion. And it's important. We are human. You have to have emotions and everything, and whether good or bad, but you just don't need to make a decision based upon that, because every single situation is going to change. And if you don't change your mindset, then it's just going to continue to snowball down the road that you're not actually wanting to go down.
Yeah. Interpretations.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's
a perception.
Two quotes that live rent-free in my head. Facts are stubborn things. Whenever maybe our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passion, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence. These are facts, you say. No, these are not facts. Facts are precisely what are missing. All that exists consists of interpretations. John Adams, Friedrich Nietzsche. Everything's an interpretation.
Yeah.
It's how someone processes emotions, interpretation. How they feel about something, interpretation. How they say they feel like something, an interpretation.
Yes, exactly. Because everything that we... oh my gosh. Maybe some people will leave the house at some point. So just... Not you. We love you. You're good.
I'm sorry. I don't have ADHD. We're not diagnosed. I might have something. I definitely have something. I don't know what it is.
Well...
It's the brownness inside me.
Where were we?
Facts and interpretations.
Oh, yeah. Because everything is... As I said, we're snowballing, right? And our entire life is just a compilation of stories, experiences, and how we feel about them, and who's come into our lives and what they bring and their stories. And so it's just tree branching into how you experience everything. And that's what makes people so individual. It has nothing to do with how we look. It has nothing to do with if we have 2 parents, and if they're every single thing comes down to every single microsecond that you're living your own life, and what that entails, and what package that's bringing to the next step. And so, people make mistakes, and especially we've talked about this in the first podcast, but having your life online and so exposed, there's news every day about somebody making a massive mistake, and it, derailing their careers and their families and their this and their that. Well, those are mistakes that used to be private, and they were allowed to grow privately. And now they're these major detrimental situations that have, exploded into this atomic bomb of their lives. And then they go away for a while, and they come back, and they're like, I've changed. And it's yeah, they might have. Totally. And how they lived every single second for as long as it took to come back is what determines, either they're going to make another big atomic mistake again, or they're not. But that's how everyone lives. And you have these kids online that are being so quote unquote disrespectful. And it's yeah, you were a child. You were a teenager once,
Yeah, I was talking to someone.
And I was definitely a disrespectful teenager once.
I was talking to someone yesterday about this. We talked for an hour, and he was like, "Oh, wow, an hour went by." I was like, "Yes, I'm well aware an hour went by. This is what I do." And he was going to he's overly loyal. He cares too much. All the good stuff. And we were going about it, and I was just telling him that everything on the internet, everything that I put out, you can't use that against me.
Yeah.
There's no way you can't use it against me more than I've used it against myself.
Sure.
Like, yes, I judge people. Like, that's one of my biggest qualities. I judge the hell out of people. However, I also know that there's a level of understanding that I need to understand before I can accurately judge someone. Because it's judging someone is one thing. Judging someone with evidence, that's something else. Sure. Imagine using someone like their entire like mentality against them, but also you can use it for them.
Right.
So, how do you process emotions?
I always take it down to a baseline, and
Baseline. What kind of baseline?
if I'm feeling, well, I just have a hard time these days because like I really don't. The only emotion that I feel is like overbearing at times is joy, and it's like, and then I just get into this like overjoyous, and I'm like, okay, I need to like calm.
Like toxic positivity?
No, I wouldn't say like toxic positive, but it's like I can feel myself getting like loud, in a place that doesn't need to be so loud, or just
You have a lot of energy.
and it's like so much more energy in the moment than I'm like, okay, you just need to do some like breathing. Just breathe, come back down. Like you're allowed to feel the joy. You just don't need to express it.
You need to do more jujitsu. The amount of times where I laugh my face off while I'm in there and just let it all out and everybody can hear it. Hell yeah.
I mean, I have times where I allow myself to do that,
No, this is social, so everyone else has to hear it too.
No, yeah,
it's not just my laughter.
No,
I have to hear it. Everybody has to hear it.
Yeah. There's like definitely times where I'm out with friends that I like do feel, but.
So is it more like a sine wave? Like sometimes you got highs, sometimes lows, highs and lows, or is it just more of a circumstantial?
Just circumstantial for sure. Like in church, I just get so joyful. Like I just love it so much, and it's just such a different feeling than, like, it feels like I've healed 30 years of my life, and I just don't get angry anymore.
Hold up, what happened when you were 4?
I mean, there's just
damn. Oh God.
There's just, and it's nothing. It's just the human.
I know. I'm just messing
existence
with you.
Of. I lived in such a negative mindset, for a long time.
I've talked. I know one person. She said she had more of a, maybe entitled, but more of a egotistical, self-soothing, selfishness than like more gratitude. Now she's trying to do more gratitude and all that good stuff. Why is it? I mean, yes, negativity bias. I'm doing a paper on that. Actually, I showed you the paper. Where is it? Not this one. Self-worth, inner critic, self-punishment, reinforced unrealistic expectations, emotional debt, reality check needs, limiting beliefs, and imposter syndrome, blessing curse of an overactive imagination. Which, yes, I understand. Like there is negativity bias in this. Why didn't you have? Why did it take so long?
Because I was focused on other people. Yeah. And I just was focused on other people and their negativity. And they had no interest in changing their own.
Why were they negative?
Because of their own freaking problems.
Why were you attracted to those people?
Probably because I was stuck in this negative loop of, and I think as somebody who has empathy,
You have empathy? Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
Gosh.
God, I just look back and I'm like, how was I attracted to them?
Well, what was? Do you remember what was going through your mind?
Just, I wanted to help them. They would like feed me a victim sob story, and like the broken part of me was like, maybe I can help fix the broken part of them.
How come? And I know you don't believe it anymore. I complain exactly how much I need to complain. And complaining as no, she's got notes for it.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I've got a bunch of tangents on it.
Yeah.
Why did you say last year that you liked complaining? as a social bonding tool.
Yeah. Complaining creates connection.
Oh gosh, he's got a script.
Without requiring vulnerability.
Creates connection without requiring.
Complaining creates connection
without requiring vulnerability.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, and I think it is a lazy way to connect or attempt to connect. I think when you're so focused on just, I mean, I don't mind somebody spilling to me, what's going on in your life. Oh, well, this, and this. But until it's this, and this is going on in my life, and I would really like somehow getting out of the rut.
Okay, so, yeah, okay.
And then I said, at some point, you have to say what you actually mean.
At some point?
Like,
I would just say it in the very
exactly.
beginning. Yeah.
And thus, at some point, I want you to be able to say what you actually mean from the start. And so that's kind of where I've gotten with complaining. I really hate it. I really hate hearing it. I really, it doesn't align with how I want my day to go anymore.
Is complaining a form of ignorance, in your opinion?
I think it's just a lazy way to live. I think if you have something to complain about and you're complaining about it often, you are not doing enough to fix it. And everyone has the same 24 hours a day, and everyone has the same life problems, and everyone is an adult at this point, that we're dealing with, other than my child who doesn't complain. So
yeah, the magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding.
Exactly. And the things that I could have complained about last year, I can't this year. And I just don't have anything to complain about, truly. You sit in public and you overhear people talking to one another, and eavesdropping is just part of our life. Like, let's just accept that, okay? And then you overhear people.
Hold up. I just processed that. What?
Like, you're just sitting in public
Eavesdropping.
and something.
Eavesdropping is a part of life.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And people are like, why are you listening to my conversation? Well, if you weren't talking so daggone loud, like I'm here in public alone, I don't want to shove something in my ears to just drown out what's going on around me. Like, it's called
situational awareness.
Situational awareness. So, and you hear, different things, especially like I go so many places alone now. So my space
You got that, man? She's got alone now.
So
Don't do that. I will kill you.
My space.
Not actually. Emotionally.
Slaughtered. So my space isn't being filled with somebody else in a one-on-one conversation that is taking over my attention. So I do, overhear a lot of things, and every single time I hear somebody complain, I look up and I can just immediately tell like what kind of person that is, And then you overhear conversations of people like talking about what's coming up in their lives, and like the people who are always talking forward, not stuck in the past. And you can always tell, like, they've got light behind their eyes and they're just a breath of fresh air.
Question. Mm-hmm. So relationships, gossiping, complaining. So there's this guy, sorry, context. So there's this guy who called me. I don't see him very often, rolled with him in jiu-jitsu for a while, and then he left.
First of all, we have the best group. I don't know why you would leave.
Not you, him.
Yeah, I get it.
He called me and he started asking me like some questions like, hey, how you doing? How's this? Right? They're very blunt questions. And I'm like, cool. What do you need? What can I do to help you? Like my brain is wired for problem solving. Sure. Like, what is the problem? Can I solve it?
Yes.
Well, it's the dopaminergic release of I got something done. I did something. I can do more.
Yeah.
It's like I can do more now. I can do more now. It's like I don't want to stop.
And the energy
ball
just
it's like that's where my energy comes from.
Sure.
And, you can go down self-determination theory, intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, and he's still talking and everything, and I'm like, is this a social call? I don't get those. Like, I get like one call a week. Okay, I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't.
Good for you.
Not really. It feels really lonely, but I talk to people in person, so it's fine.
And and then he ended up talking for like 45 minutes. And I'm like, there's no point to what he's saying, right? There's no objective point.
I think we had this issue the other week. So,
What?
where I'm just yapping and you're like, is there a point? Like, we're going to get somewhere. But yeah.
That's a different thing. Okay. I'll get to that. Do women, and I'm going to call it, he's pretty soft, so I'm going to call him a woman too. Not like that. Soft men are soft men.
I agree. Believe me, I agree.
I do jiu-jitsu. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, actually do it. Is female bonding a lot of conversations and information, but more on the emotional side rather than logical? The natural default to just talk and feel like that there is a connection, even if there's no actual connection.
I hate that I have to say this, but I really have had just not a lot of luck with female friendships. And the ones that I do have are phenomenal, but it feels a lot of the time more like, at this point in my life, and I absolutely am so grateful for it, but like a mentorship versus like nobody calls me to just talk. Nobody. 0 people. People call me for advice. and when I'll do some social experiments and I will call somebody to just like cold call just to see if they pick up, instead of like a text beforehand and just to see if they'll pick up and to chat, Very, very few people do. And it's fine. That's just, I know my role in life.
It's fine.
It's fine, people. But I know my role in people's lives, and I just don't have that person who I can call as a 34-year-old woman going through this, that it, like, just to talk to another 34-year-old or, whatever year old woman in the same kind of space to just chat and like.
Why?
I think I'm really bad at maintaining connection at that, because I really don't like talking on the phone. I really dislike texting. I think it's
why do you crave the social call or social talk and not like something that's objective?
I don't really. This is what I'm saying. It's like I think at this point for me, it's like it's just more of an experiment than something that I want. I don't want to talk on the phone with somebody for an hour. I have no interest in that. I want someone to text me or for, to be like, hey, do you want to come do this? Like, I just don't get the invite unless someone's having like a life crisis, which is fine.
My brain can't wrap around it, or I'm trying to understand it, because everything that I try to do has to have some purpose to it.
Sure.
If I do something, if I make something inconvenient, there has to be a purpose for it. Mm. And the byproduct of that is the responsibility of maintaining that. Right. 'Cause it's not just doing it, it's also all the maintenance that goes along with it. Just talking to people for the social call and not having not for advice, or what's the underlying desire?
I think connection. At the end, I forgot what your original question was because it's been more than 3 minutes. But
why? How would you define
how women talking about emotion?
How would you define connection?
Trust is kind of where I'm at with connection, and it takes so long to build trust, and it takes such a short period of time to collapse it. And I don't know if I'm in a place where I do fully trust anybody other than a very, very select few. And I don't know exactly.
Is that because of your past relationships?
Probably, yeah. I think so. And I don't know exactly. I don't know if it's worth it to me right now to continue to build anything with people that aren't already in my very limited circle at this point. Just because I'm very, very happy where I am.
You know the phrase "fortune favors the bold."
Yeah.
Fortune favors those who initiate.
Yeah, and I do initiate with the people I enjoy right now.
So there's 2 parts to that. There's fortune favors those who initiate, but also do so much that failure becomes obsolete.
Yeah.
It's a scale thing. You just have to have more connections. Also in person.
And it's 100% about in person for me. Like I really, really do struggle with connection over the phone. I think this.
Oh yeah, Faith, you're ADHD. You need all the information.
I need all of it. Calling. I don't like to text and I don't like to talk and drive yeah. So it's. And I'm often in a car, or I'm often doing something else that I do want to give my full focus to. And so like the people who can just yap on a phone for hours while they're like cleaning their house, like more power to you, but absolutely not for me. And so I, in a day, like I have maybe, if I want to spare it, an hour to speak to somebody on the phone, but I'd rather just like schedule a time to have lunch or do something for an hour in person. And then we have so much to catch up on instead of people who need to be in constant conversation on text messages all day. Like, I don't care where your every living move is, I want you to tell me what is important to you at the end of the day, but I don't need to know that you went to the grocery store and bought a banana. Like, it's just, we're good.
And you taped it on the wall and called it art.
Yeah, like if you're texting me and you're like, hey, I'm stopping by here, and in a consideration aspect, like that's great. I'll do the same, but I'm not like, I don't need to know where I don't need to know your whereabouts.
When you first got married and any relationships in between, all the relationships, and then 3 years ago to now, does it feel like that you've lost a sense of community, or that you don't have a community to fall back on?
I think I've done a really good job of maintaining the long-term community that I have, best friends from childhood. We catch up twice a year. They live on the opposite sides of the country. Like, we don't need, again, I'll call them, they'll call me. It's an hour every 6 to 18 months. And it's great, And I know if anything were to happen and I called one, they'd be on a plane immediately, and vice versa. That being said, I do think that in every relationship that you find yourself in, you obviously meet people as that person's significant other, and whether they be your friends or new people that you pick up in whatever social activities you're involved in.
So your social circle merged with theirs.
Mm-hmm. And vice versa. And then, the breakup happens. It's inevitable. It's ugly because you're two people who can't figure out that you're just wrong from each other from like the get, but you have to, move in with one another and just like try to figure, and it's just a crapshoot. And then you lose friends from that because people judge and those people just, when one door shuts, there's a lot that needs to remain behind that door that you don't need to leak out into the rest as you're trying to move on and heal. And you're like moving towards whatever's next. Like, there's a lot of like toxic acid that kind of sticks with that situation no matter what.
So do you care a lot about your reputation?
No, I think I definitely used to. And then I just realized that there's just people who don't like me. That's fine. And I was probably I was unlikable.
But closing that door means that you have to not. There's a level of ignorance for the people that would tarnish a self-image, a reputation.
But I think the only thing I care about is how I see me. And there's things that happen every once in a while that I'm like, that was out of character. I didn't like that. Like, I'll change something and, self-correct and respond differently the next time. But you have to make those mistakes in order to really learn like who you are still, and then who are we becoming, and what am I growing into? And you're just never done. I mean, I'm almost there, but I'm not perfect.
Does the social bonding have to do with oxytocin? That's the last question on that tangent, but because Arthur Brooks, or Dr. Arthur Brooks, I don't know if I'm quoting this right. Women release 3 times more oxytocin from baseline compared to through prolonged eye contact than men do through physical contact. I'm not a romantic partner.
Oh, this has to be romantic?
There's an intentionality aspect.
I mean, yes, there is like, do you are you aware your mind or your body craves that oxytocin release of just having connection, being with the community, having people to talk to?
I mean, I think this is like an introvert versus extrovert kind of thing, right? Also.
It could, yeah, that's related, yes.
Yeah. It really depends on the season. I really love people. I love hearing their stories. I love what I can offer them, what they can offer me, and what experiences we can have. But there's so much. That's like 3 months a year, and that could be 3 months straight, or it could be like scattered. But there's 9 months of the year that I just need to.
I did jiu-jitsu. You said 3 months straight. I was like, 3 months gay? What?
So there's like those 9 months a year that I really prefer to be alone. Yeah. And like resetting and reevaluating. Where can I grow? How do I go, move forward? If there's like a situation that happens that was unexpected or like upsetting, then I go back to the drawing board. And again, it's just data. It's not, you don't have to live in it. You don't have to attach it to yourself. It's just something that however you want to take it in, go through a voice note or have a journal or something and just work through it so that it is but nobody wants to sit and be like, I have to do self stuff, and like work.
Yeah, it's not a chore.
And they hop on, porn or whatever and get their release and then be like, I'm not a shitty person. And then, go to whatever the next thing is. And to like sit with it, with yourself outside of the distractions and really dig down to the roots and see what needs to be weeded out of your garden.
Porn is actually probably a good example because that's when everything happens, it's has the same effect of your brain as you actually having sex. So it's like, it's ADHD. Last point on the conversation or the social connection aspect. Last 2 weeks ago, the reason why, like you were talking and everything, right?
Yapping. I was full blown yapping.
So I don't mind the yap. So are you familiar with the intrinsic connectivity network?
I think you kind of brought this up.
Okay. So you got your central executive network, you got your default mode network, and then in between is your salience network. And basically, central executive, that's where you're actively focused on tasks like this. It's very central executive. I'm focused. I can get into flow state pretty fast if I have enough caffeine, which I plant caffeine. And not too much. I can only do like 200 a day.
That's recommended.
You're in a work. I don't care if it's recommended. It works for me. See, I'm brown, all right? I got different body than all the other white people. More than 200. Then your salience network moves your central executive to your default, and default to more of ruminations, more daydreaming, more of not actively thinking about anything, but that also could cause you to go down like the negativity bias and all that good stuff. Salience network is basically that little network that says, central executive, default mode. It switches between the two. So you were talking. I don't know what you were talking about.
No, me neither.
Because I was switching to my default mode network. I was just listening.
Yeah.
Because there was no objective point to what you were saying.
And there was not.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can hear that.
And I'm like 100% there.
But I will be more than happy for you to talk for like 2 hours on that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't change. I just can't respond to it.
How you feel about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need my emotions because you're not looking for a solution. You're not looking for.
No. I'm just looking for you to
connection.
not say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll do that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there wasn't like I don't like you, or like this is a.
No, I never felt that.
What was it that I forgot what are you yapping too much? Like you're not being inconvenient. You're not being a burden. It's more just, I have nothing to say. There's nothing for me to contribute. This is just your feelings. Like perfect.
Yeah.
There's no, I feel this way. How do I fix it? Or like, I don't think you'd come to me for that. But like, there wasn't any point to it. So I won't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's how I am with most people. And I understand that there's times where like I am just that, like sometimes people just need to talk. Like there's weeks that go by that I'm like silent. Like there's days that go by that I don't talk to literally anyone. And the nice thing about Mason is like he wants the same thing, so there's days where like we'll just,
What's up, big dog?
you good? So there's like, there days have gone by, especially in the last couple years, where I don't even hear my own voice, which is nice. It's just like, just go a day like the mutes do. And sometimes it's like, oh, I get it. I really understand. I don't blame you.
How
for
has
not
that
talking.
changed the way that you process information?
I'm very internalized to almost a fault at this point. It will be an interesting change of pace when I inevitably find my person. I know. And I have to like talk out loud.
You're gonna need a lot of everything.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, I can't read your mind. I'm like, I swear I said it out loud. Like and it's not. I will never get angry. It's just.
Do you think that there might be an unintended consequence of you being quiet for so long with yourself that you are not able to properly communicate
That's a concern.
emotions to the person that needs to hear it in the best way in the shortest amount of time? An efficiency problem.
I almost like my issue. The reason I spend so much time in my head is because I need people to get there faster, to the point. Especially in business, I find like I co-own a company, and my partner, like we're good friends. And so a lot of our business calls like end up being 2 hours, and it's like 30 minutes of the business and an hour and a half of like going through the same cycle of, and I'm like, no, I need to separate these two, because in my head, I've already spent the day thinking about this, and I need to get the business stuff out, and then we're done talking because I need to get to the next thing, and it's hard to get people off of the chatter.
I am linear when I work, but scattered when I talk.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so scattered. I mean, we're on like episode 4 now, so I think it's pretty obvious.
4.
Yeah.
Is there any other tinge you want to go on that? I've got another.
You have another?
I've got something else, but it's a different.
We'll cycle back.
Okay.
So.
What I call the puppy effect, which is when you first get a puppy, you remember that puppy for being whatever it is, that little tantrum of whatever energy. But as it gets older, you
appreciate them more because they stop peeing on your things.
And then they get really old, and then they start doing it all over again and start getting old and more. But you still love them because you remember how they first started. You remember how, like, you don't say, you're not worth it, I'm going to put you down. You give it, you care about it. And
I'm going to put you down on the best day that I can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like there's a level of respect, but also a level of caring, like a level of love. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask you, with the last 3 years, and how you've seen yourself change, but also that some people haven't seen that too. That people will. Initial question: do you have one personality that lives multiple lives, or multiple personalities that live one life?
Okay, hold on. I was not prepared for that question.
Do you have one personality that lives multiple lives, or multiple personalities that live one life?
Oh, I see. I think I used to have multiple personalities that lived one life. And now I have one personality that lives multiple lives. And that is probably the biggest shift, is I am now 100% authentically myself everywhere I go. Whereas before, I think there was so much performance so that no one could see, again, the vulnerability. And how truly sad I was, and broken, and stuck and hurt. And so you throw, and I think when you're like faking joy, and you're just trying to filter out as many lies to the next person as possible, there's so many layers you have to create. That sometimes you forget to put one on, or you put an extra one on that you didn't realize you were putting on, and then each person has this like alternate interaction with you. And so when one person's talking about, they're like, oh, how, let's example, I don't know, whatever, right? Have you seen Emily lately? Yeah, she seems really happy, everything's fine, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, that's not the impression I got,
So that was the question, or what I was going to ask, which is with the people that you knew, let's say when you first started at XCal, or like how the last 3 years have been, and have seen you little bits, but maybe seen only the bad parts, or people will only see as much as you're willing to tell them, and they will only see as much as you're able to tell them. Are you going to try to prove yourself to those people if they don't understand it, or do you just let it go and just...
Oh, no, I don't need to prove anything to anyone. No. And I think the truth is so evident and obvious when you do see me that it's like, I don't want to, I'm not going to like sit here and try to like come to my own defense. But like when you see me in person, like you will, and you have only seen Emily 2024 or Emily 2022, whatever. Like, it is without a doubt something has shifted drastically.
Yeah. This is kind of tied to the social stuff or the connection part, the hold on to the connections, but also try to change it, but also not realizing you just need to let it go.
I give everyone the benefit of the doubt because I think, first of all, I don't necessarily remember the last time I saw them. I definitely don't remember what we talked about. And maybe it gives me the opportunity to face that person with an idea of maybe a new first impression. And so I'm able to give them something that I was unable to give them before, which is my undivided time and attention and the joy that I have and the newness of my restoration. And then it's up to them to feel if that was genuine or fake. And if it wasn't genuine to them, then I know it's one, not my problem, and two, something that they're just going to have to work out on their own. I don't know what to tell them.
And that's what you give to everyone else?
Yeah.
Because at least I would assume that most people wouldn't understand it, because it's like, yes, it's not. You can go down cognitive load theory on this one, which is just people will... You can't force your education on someone, but also the cognitive load to realize that understanding takes more energy. Mm-hmm. It's like, yes, you need to understand this more.
And they need to be open to it more.
The emotional availability for that, yeah.
And depending on whatever is going on in their life, it gives them only so much capability to be open. And I am very lucky that I'm finally, or I guess I'm not lucky, this was a lot of work. Like, this was a lot of intentional work. But I am in a place where I am only getting more and more open. Like, there's nothing closed about where I'm at, like, to have capacity. And when I'm unable to have the capacity, I simply say, hey, I don't have the capacity for this right now. Like, I will let you know. But I don't want to pretend to give somebody capacity, not be able to do what I really would like to, and then have them be disappointed because I said that I had the capacity. And I think that's more rough for me. I would rather hear that somebody doesn't, that they can't, that they set the boundary, that they said no, then I know that I just can go somewhere else or figure it out on my own. But at least I'm not burdening them with it. And then when they drop the ball, my innate emotion is to be disappointed. When in reality, like, they just didn't set the boundary, and that's okay.
Did you want to go any other tangents on that, or?
No, I love when you start my tangents.
Okay.
I do. Can I get some water though?
No, of course not.
Dang it.
You like actually? Oh, okay.
No.
All right, small tangent, and then if that doesn't go anywhere, then I've got a different one.
I like your backward hat.
And then what? Oh, yeah, it works both ways. Either way.
That's how hats are. Yeah.
I know, but like it works. Like some hats are just weird one way, but not the other.
Yeah, I'm not a backwards hat girly. I didn't ever.
I started wearing this hat 2 days ago.
Looks good. I like it. It's nice. Like the satin is it's a nice material. Let me feel.
Yeah, it's like $25. If you want to buy it on my website, subscribe611.com.
If you want to buy it on his website, it's really nice.
So I changed my domain. So this was originally like shop.subscribe611.com, and then I just switched everything over just to subscribe611.com. And now the
I
website
think you need
looks
to like slow that down and enunciate. This is an ad right now.
sub611.com. There you go. It'll redirect to the proper one. I don't care. All right. The 12 people are going to watch this.
No, they're not. I'm on it.
Actually, you got your first episode is the most viewed one at like 1,000 views, which is surprising.
Thanks, fam. Come back. It's my annual one.
No wonder I got so little views. It's just your people. It's like, whoa, Brown got whoa.
No.
Yeah. Direct, indirect, explicit, implicit communication. I'm working on this paper.
Okay.
This is more of just it's a mini paper. I don't expect it to be a lot. But and this is going to the communication styles. Direct, explicit, please close the door because it's cold in here.
Mm-hmm.
Direct, implicit, close the door with the context being understood that it is cold in here. Indirect, explicit, I wonder if someone could close the door.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's explicit, but it's not directed towards.
I think there's different.
And then indirect, implicit, being cold but not saying anything.
Yeah.
I'm very much direct, explicit. The more direct it is, the more explicit it is, the better I can handle it because the amount of emotional resources it would have to take in order to, it's the same thing.
Okay, I don't
The
know.
amount
What
of emotional,
page it is,
it's at the
though.
very back.
Okay.
The amount of emotional resources required to try to understand something and I hear this in the context of women so many times, but I'm sure there's a lot of dudes who do it too, of not being direct with the communication style with the hopes that the other person understands you and feeling understood without the communication part, which also means that now you're training them to try to pick up on cues that you could probably just do it, which could either be obsolescence or
This
a
is why
self-sufficiency
women
problem.
say, I've trained him well.
And then I'm like, hold up. What if he doesn't? And now you're mad at him for not doing it? It's like,
Yes.
anyways, you were going to say something?
So I think it just starts, this is like well training your children. So it starts with, as babies, indirect, explicit. No. Indirect, implicit. Just being cold and not saying anything. And like parents are having to guess what they're next. Like, you should take a jacket with you because you're going to be cold. And they don't know that they're going to be cold until they're cold. Yeah. Right. And then they learn to start asking, like, can I please have milk or, whatever. They start to learn their needs. And then it gets to, are they going to be safe enough to have explicit, implicit, explicit, the next one. Direct, implicit. Like when kids become teenagers and please suddenly evades them, are they safe enough for you to just correct appropriately? Hey, can you say please? Like when you open, will you please open my door for me? And like Mason always opens my door for me.
As is his noble right.
Yes, it is. And so that's when they start to understand
Respect.
respect, but also that they're also respected. Like I know that when he is in a rush and he's overwhelmed and he's a teenager and he's in he's like trying to shuffle his thoughts and emotions and feelings and whatever happened in school that day and like the world is so much bigger for them because they haven't experienced much of it yet, And so if they're not safe to ask, just be like, close the door or where my food at? Or, all of those things.
Yo, woman, where's my food at? I need my sandwich.
Yeah. Then they revert back to, gosh, I wonder if someone could close the door.
Does that lead to entitlement?
I think it leads to just infancy, the infancy mindset. And that is entitlement because you are now an adult. You are not a baby. You are not a child. No one needs to take care of you, but you've never come out of the just asking someone to do it. And having direct, explicit create, like that takes a lot of confidence to be able to kind of demand what you want. And then the kindness takes over. Your tone, your intent behind it. Can you please go get us coffees? Like, get yourself one. Like, treat people with
Compassion. glad you ended. Did you want to say more? Or?
No.
Okay, cool. So, fantastic quote from the best person in the world, or second best at this moment, Dave.
Yes, I completely agree.
And then at the end of this episode, Dave will be the number one. From his second episode, don't make me lose this. This is a part of who I am when you first met me, and you like me for me.
I love this quote.
You may not like that part of me, but it's a part of me. Don't make me lose that just because you don't like it. Having that ability to say, I give to you in hopes that you give to me. And as long as there's that reciprocity is there and no one feels like they're being taken advantage of, trust gets built better that way. I'm showing you this as a token of trust. Don't abuse it or use it against me.
Yeah, it's real. I love God. I absolutely love that quote. I do go back to it quite a bit because I think that, as I said, the 3 years that I was 3 years now. I was with my last relationship for 4 years. Going back to it, I had, X, Y, and Z that I was pursuing and doing and this and that and whatever. And throughout, as the relationship went on, like no matter how it happened or what happened, I'm not giving any blame. Those things ended. And I wasn't getting much support on the new things that I wanted to explore. So like the things that I was when I entered the relationship died in the middle of it, and then to try to like come out the other side reborn.
You're gay? We have nothing against gay people.
No,
okay?
no.
Like,
Not just not me.
I just want to be clear with that. There's too much stupidity on the internet.
Oh, I did write in the last one. I said vulnerability only works when it's met with stability.
Stability or support?
Well, I think support can only come from having a basis of stability.
How do you define stability?
The basis of what it's on, like, is
the basis of stability.
Is the basement stable? You know what I mean? Is the house that you're creating
the foundation?
Yes. Is the foundation, like, that's your stability? Like, what are you expecting financially? And I'm not saying, like, are you expecting someone to make $300,000 a year? But are you expecting that person to provide, or are you doing 50-50? Like, whatever that looks like.
150, damn.
If your person's making $300,000 a year when you meet, whatever, okay? You get married, and that person has always determined that they're going to provide 100% of the situation, and that your money is this, that, and the other. If that person loses their job, and now everyone has to downsize, and they start their next job at let's do 70, right? So, but there's the obligation is still that person is providing 100, like that is the role. So then the conversation has to happen in the middle. Like, are we shifting that? If the stability of like our financial stability needs to be shifted, do you have the attitude, the means for it to happen? Then you have the spiritual side of things. I mean, it's just like everything has its own.
You're familiar with the hedonic treadmill?
Dude, there are so many phrases you put out. I just think about this stuff on my own.
So the hedonic treadmill, well, hedonic in the opposite eudaimic. Hedonic is more of like the pleasures of life, of beer, going out, water. Hedonic treadmill is basically whenever you're doing something and you learn something and life feels fantastic. New relationship, new job, like you got what you wanted.
Why is it always that new stuff? You know what I mean? It's so annoying.
Because
I want to get that excited about old stuff.
Limerence. You know limerence.
Yeah, I know limerence.
Now we know, she knows the term. Limerence of the infatuation, the humans have an insatiable desire to continue to get more. Mm-hmm. There's no stopping that.
I definitely want more.
I want
but
new,
I'm not
I want
unhappy
better.
With what I have now.
Yeah. The hedonic treadmill is basically you get to that thing and then you get it and then it goes back. You go back to baseline.
Yeah.
Technically the baseline can be higher, but it's still baseline.
Right.
That's a new baseline, but it's a higher baseline. And you don't usually regress. You just do more and then you have a bigger baseline. Like you can look at people, that's a different tangent. Hedonic treadmill, would that be what you were talking about of whatever you were talking about? Because I forgot what it was.
I love these conversations.
Basically,
no, I think so. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
As new thing, new stuff, we need to restabilize,
and then the support can come from the stability. This is what I'm saying. Yes, the support can come from the foundation because you know what the baseline is. That's your foundation. So when something new happens and it's like, like, let's say your wife wants to get into a pyramid scheme. Like, you know what I mean? And there's just
Divorce.
like, it's like, well, who did I marry? There's just like, like,
Hey,
what
we're
are
going
we
into a
doing here?
pyramid scheme.
But like, maybe that's her hobby. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Uh-huh.
okay, honey.
Whoa.
No, I'm not. Stop. Stop with those
Said
reactions.
your wife, so I'm like, okay, my wife. What?
I don't know. So it's like, she just brings up, and it's like, okay, honey, I will support you in this ridiculous venture by giving you X amount, and that's it. If there's not success, but after this amount, then like, you just got to nix this, and we'll go on to
But
the
you
next
don't
thing.
love me. It just takes a little bit more time. It takes more
but
energy.
the two people have to be open to that and understand.
I'm going from the insecure side of
Yeah. And that's where bad relationships come from.
Obviously, you don't love me.
Obviously. It's because I want us to be stable. You know, whatever it is, it's like if
That sounds like a you thing,
Yeah,
not a me thing. Nah.
And there are things that in relationships you need to be me things. You know, not everything should be like you yes things, you know? Yeah. Like for me, one thing is like I love going to the gym, but I don't want to go to the gym with my person every time.
Yeah.
Like that's like something fun we can do outside of my time. So much of my time is my time, so it's so hard to.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, it's
like
all
you
my
just
time.
like transfer your mindset into someone else's body, and now it's like your time.
Yeah, now I get to hang out with me time. That'll be so nice.
Attention. And I'm doing a paper on this because I'm doing a paper on everything at this point. The currency of attention and how you distribute your emotional resources. Would you say that you're attention needy? Because you said you're very expensive.
I am very
So I'm
expensive.
like, are you expensive emotionally? Are you expensive financially? Are you
Yeah.
expensive? 300,000 is a lot of money.
That's so cute. It's cute.
It's cute.
So I am expensive in every aspect, and but it's not. I need someone to be rich in life. At the same
So
level,
going back to
I
our
am.
earlier point about unrealistic expectations.
It's not unrealistic. Like I want someone
this
to
economy?
feel as I'm not looking.
Have you
for
seen the
just-
gas prices?
I have seen all of the prices. I have seen this economy, believe me. And I've seen this dating economy, and it is worse. It is. And so I'm good being alone. I'm good affording myself. You know what I mean? Like I can bring all of my needs to my table as I stand.
Not right now. This is my table.
Well,
I brought this.
these are my seats.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Finances are just a reflection of what is going on in your life.
So going back to the earlier question about attention,
Yeah.
are you? Not a good question. Financially, why are you financially expensive? I mean, everyone's financially expensive, but
My
like,
hobbies are expensive. That's it. I'm not like. I mean, I can afford.
by the way, do you need more ammo?
My new company is if you need to get any ammo, Brass Kisses. I am expensive because I enjoy I enjoy living life in really great clothes and really good gear.
Is it self-sustainable?
I self-sustain. I'm good. But if somebody else wants to join, like they need to pay for it.
Not with that attitude.
It's worked a bunch.
Defense against criticism. I listen to a lot of Alison Armstrong stuff. She has a weird tone of voice, but I've listened to at least 3-4 hours of it. And one of the things a lot of her data is not like research based, but from what I understand, it's not more research based, but just more of the people she's talked to through her practice and everything. Right. Defense against women.
Was that not research?
One of the points that she made is women don't have a defense against criticism, and there's a general misconception that you'll protect us if you like us.
Yes. Okay. Ooh. I like this. I love this, actually. I was out with a friend last night who's like, I mean, her resume could not get any more impressive. She's like 23 years old. She's like scout sniper, scout swimmer. The girl is an absolute incredible, what all of our daughters need to look up to. Like, her backstory is crazy. It's just, I mean, and she's like the tiniest human being I've ever seen in my entire life. She's like 5'0", like 100 pounds. Like the girl is an absolute animal.
Yeah, victim weight.
Yeah, like I mean,
The
but
eatables.
at every point, she had to prove herself in ways that men didn't. And I mean, like men show up to PT every morning hungover at that age, like just absolutely barely getting by, and somehow like puking their way through on training on the testing day. Whereas every single day was a test day for this girl, and then the test days came. And she annihilated it every time. And she was still not respected. And it wasn't, or it was not just respected within the unit. You know what I mean? Like she has found her community now. And I mean, the girl is going to Harvard. Like, like this, I was just blown away. Anyway. And so what was the question about this? I was circling back to this.
Defense against criticism, or you'll protect us only if you like us.
Yeah. So no matter what she did, she wasn't liked because of what she wouldn't give or what she, there were the egos, whatever, this, that, and the other. And so I think she's now finally feeling like that she will be protected because she found the community that likes her. And it's just sad that that's kind of the case of like anyone can be criticized. Like I'm not worried about people who are criticized me because I know that I have done things that have wasted my potential for years, and put me in a place where I was not likable and I was not doing things that I would ever do, like the moral and ethical issues that I were facing on a day-to-day basis was like eating me alive. And so when I put my foot down on myself, nobody else can criticize me more than that because they only saw 0.0001% of my life where I was living in it 24/7. And I was criticizing it 24/7. And then I was finally getting to the point where the only things I can criticize, I can look back for 1 second and know that I will never make that mistake again and be fine with that. But I'm so self-critical now in a positive manner, not in in a way that will keep eating me slowly as time goes on, but like in a, hey, let's keep ourselves in check here.
Be proud of yourself despite your setbacks. Be proud of yourself, especially when you lose.
Thanks, Dave.
Having that ability to say to yourself, you are good enough, you did well enough, and having that acceptance will lead you to making better choices later, which leads to better character development.
Yeah, so exactly what Dave said, much more eloquently.
2 points that I should have covered.
And honestly, it's boring. Like people who are that are, sitting there criticizing other people that they barely know. It's like, it's tale as old as time. This is the gossip shit. I used to be such a big gossiper, but it came from a place of wanting to gain as much information as I could so I could know if I was safe in that environment or not. It wasn't so much like I wanted to intentionally hurt another person's feelings. You know what I mean? It's not like
collateral damage.
I mean, there are some really crappy people, and I've talked terribly about them, but I would never do that anymore. I like to understand what's going on in people's lives purely from a care and concern for myself.
2 things that I didn't mention earlier that I had it on my mind, but I didn't say. Indirect, implicit communication can also lead to learned helplessness. One thing. Oxytocin release, I didn't mean that specifically just romantic from baseline. I just meant that from you won't get this here. All right. Because different ways, right?
Yeah.
Because I try to make eye contact with a lot of women just to make sure that there's hey, I'm listening to you. But I'm not doing it with I want to have sex with you. Right? There's a difference.
Yeah. Totally.
But going back to your point, safety, and wouldn't you put yourself in a position of not feeling safe by being hard on yourself?
Yeah.
It's a paradoxical
I think
loop.
that's not something that you're aware that you're doing when you're trying to just survive. And I know it's so depressing. I know that there are chemical imbalances to depression that I believe most of them are self-created because they are literally training the pathways in your brain to be negative.
I would think from like an evolutionary standpoint, that's like you removing yourself from the tribe.
Yes, but you have to elevate yourself above that. Like you have to meditate and focus on those thoughts coming. You can change them. You can change your life.
What would you say to either you in the past or to someone who thinks that they can get that the only way they can get that is through being in a relationship or being with someone else?
They have to, I mean, being bored is the gateway to everything.
But what if being bored and sitting by yourself when you don't like yourself?
Yeah. You have to get through that door. You have to. You have to know who you are, because you're going to only create the same heartbreak cycle over and over and over again because you are not fixing key necessities that any person, bare basics needs. Because love is consideration, and consideration is love.
Quote, and then I'll see if I can go on that tangent. Accordingly, all experiences has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffering, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves than to.
You're gonna have to say this smoothly, or I'm not gonna pick.
It's from the Declaration of Independence. All right, I can only say it so well. Okay. Then, all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the ways that which they have done. Something like that. Basically, you suffer until you decide to change it. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. It's from the Declaration of Independence. I don't remember the quote.
I know my ABCs. So are we getting back to like things that matter, or what's the point? Where are you going with this?
Love is consideration, and consideration love. How would you define consideration?
Just having somebody else, or the things that you love, your children, your parents, your wife, your wife's friends, whatever that involve, whatever boundary that's set for you, right? People have their own emotional capacities to take on extra people. That's totally normal. But to consider what those people's emotions, spiritual beliefs, all of the things that make them them, and put them into every single decision you make every single day, that's consideration. When you go to the grocery store, you don't have to ask somebody what they would want. You know what they would want instinctively, but you ask them anyway. Like things, just little things in life are how people are shown love constantly. And then when you do have to reject something, you do have to say no, you do have to put your foot down, you do have to set a boundary. That boundary is going to feel a lot less, they're going to feel that boundary a lot less harshly when it is literally packaged in a bubble wrap of constant consideration.
What's the difference between consideration and a couple different things, depending on where you want to go with it? Consideration and people pleasing, consideration and being or feeling like you are inconveniencing someone else, being a burden.
Let's go with people pleasing first, and then because I'm going to get lost. So
you gotta have a piece of paper and write stuff down.
So people pleasing comes from insecurities. So consideration, because you're people pleasing, that comes from self. That comes from self-need, a lack of self-worth, you're disrespectful, like to your own being. So being considerate in that regard is like, what am I needing to be validated right now? And I'm going to consider this person to do something for, so that they can fill that validation. And then when they get the wrong idea, I have to then set this incredibly harsh boundary, because that's people pleasing.
What's the difference between a boundary and a harsh boundary?
When it's not surrounded by a cushion of love, because it's not coming from love, it's coming from need. And it's coming from like that, like constant, like I'm not an imposter in anyone's life. Like I'm worthy of being here. And then when you're unable to do something, it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, because you are using other people and they're using you for whatever they need. And then it's not cushioned by genuine love.
Consideration versus inconvenience.
Is love a form of inconvenience?
No, I mean not the real kind. Then you're supposed to become one and mold your lives into one another's. It's not supposed to, and learn how to like operate with one another.
I don't mean like toxic inconvenience, where it's like someone's a burden on
What
the
else
other
are you
one.
gonna do? Then that there's nothing. Your entire purpose on earth is to find someone you love, be with them forever.
I am obsessed with the word deliberate for like everything at this point. Because like you go into like emotional institutionalization, emotional needs, emotional this, then you go to like deliberate institutionalization. Like there's a more logical side to it. So I like both sides to it. Deliberate inconvenience, where it's like more on the responsible inconvenience. Like
Yeah, that's my dad's job.
Anyways, is consideration also being able to do something 100 times, even if you know the person already should know it by now, but like they just didn't? Okay,
That's lazy. Just if you know it needs to get done, like unless it's something agreed upon, again, like in your foundations.
well, it's like if you go to the grocery store and you're like, "Hey, I gave you," or no, you send your husband to go to the grocery store and you're like, "Here's a list."
Why would I do that?
Because you're here trying to tend to something else. You're trying to clean the house or something. I
No,
don't
that's
know.
my foundational responsibility.
Stay in the kitchen or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's that's where I want to be.
Actually,
It's like, are you
first of
kidding
all,
me?
let's be clear about something. All right. Women belong in the kitchen. I wholeheartedly disagree. Who's going to clean the rest of the house?
Me.
Yeah. I want to go on the tangent of love, but back to your other thing about needs and wants. Needing, feeling, I guess this would be like a scarcity mindset. Needing something versus wanting something. I can't have everything that I want, but I can want everything that I can get.
Yeah, but people put so much pressure on finding happiness when all happiness is just to be able to sit in the moment with some gratitude for where you came from. Your journey is nobody else's journey. Nobody else was born where you were born, with the mother that you had at the time that you were. Like nobody else had that microsecond of being born. And every single thing that happened to you from that microsecond that you entered this earth to the microsecond you're in now is so much different than whatever has happened to anybody else on the face of this planet. And so just to sit in gratefulness of what you are currently in the middle of, whatever that might be, any negative thing, a divorce, you lost your house, whatever that might be. It's just an opportunity to open a new door and just work as hard as you know that you already had to do. One more time, another time, just having the gratitude to be able to have the opportunity to still be on this earth at the odds that you are, to sit and enjoy what life that you have, that you've created for yourself. And if you hate it, then change it. But you're still given the same opportunities of everyone else to be alive and do something with that second. Even if it's just a mindset shift.
I'm going to go on a tangent. I'm going to get back to love and gratitude.
I can sit back and relax.
Initiation versus scarcity. When you really like, fortune favors those who initiate. That's one thing, but also initiation has a time limit. So there's also a level of deliberate gratification, which I did a paper on this. Deliberate gratification, which is something that is just out. So instant gratification. Everyone knows that. It's something you get right now, right here. You can go get a donut right now. Slightly inconvenient, but like that donut's pretty good, right? Yeah. And then you have like on the opposite end, postponed gratification, which is like, this is going to happen 10 years from now. I'm going to have a husband, have a house. I'm going to have 150 kids, whatever it is. Not me, please. No, no, thank you. All right. And a maid and maybe another dog or two.
Yeah.
Or 1,000.
Whatever brings peace. Truly my answer is whatever brings peace in that moment.
Where's the line of, so deliberate gratification is, this is something that's just outside my reach, but within a time frame that means I can grow a little bit further to get to there. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I want a donut next week at 2 p.m. Mm-hmm. I'm going to work out. Or actually, that's the worst example. My point is like,
no, I'm working out.
Initiation, feeling like when you're in, let's say, self-worth problem, okay, that you have to initiate in order to get out of that self-worth problem. Because self-worth, while yes, also gratitude, it is a gratitude problem, but also doing a paper on this.
you have to initiate, but there's also that level of scarcity that feels like there's that emptiness that has to be filled by something, and it's not something
It's called Jesus Christ.
It's okay. That's not
fill it with the Spirit,
Not
dude.
everybody's gonna believe that.
I know. And it's so sad for me. It's just, I'm just going to go on a tangent real quick about it because, like, I don't ever talk about it. But it's like coming from, I did grow up in church, and then I discovered the internet, and I was like all over porn and atheist and this and that, and you like absorb all this information. And, you know, I was young, and it shut me off from exploring anything spiritual. And intelligence is curiosity. You need to be, and your education is what's going to back up back up the concept of your intelligence to another person. Someone can be the most intelligent, silent person in the entire world and uneducated and not have just an ability to share the information that they're able to. I don't know words. What's English? And so what was the question?
At what point do you break the loop of, I feel like there's an emptiness, but I also need to do more?
Jesus. So then Jesus came to me, dude, like for real, in at my absolute darkest. Like he's so real. It's terrifying. And it's like, it's my most favorite relationship I have in my life. And it's so funny and fun. And I see God in everything. And like, he's got such a good sense of humor. And if you just sit and relax and just take it all in for 5 minutes a day, like what they called it, like boredom maxing or something. And like someone will like sit, do nothing for an hour, and they watch the entire hour. I mean, it is insane. You're like watching this other person not do anything as you're doing something that's creating dopamine that you are no longer making for yourself because you're watching somebody else do the thing that's rebuilding their dopamine. It's so weird. Like the whole planet is it's just so weird. So just sit there just sit there for a second.
I think I'm getting brain raw just by the references to popular culture.
I gotta relate to everyone.
Anyways, there's also this other thing on the internet called women trying to make their personality into whatever seems popular at the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the next topic. Hi.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, I know. It's good to feel seen.
Woo!
I hate when people say that.
What?
Or welcome in or something. It's like, yeah, I feel welcomed.
Working retail is so rough.
No, this is not retail. No, this is not retail. This is someone I know. Okay. We went into a restaurant and they were like, welcome in. I was like, and then he was like, I feel welcomed.
Oh, no.
Cringe. All the way. 100%.
I'm massively ADHD. And I've like finally been able to like channel it as good as I've ever been able to, and like put it towards good instead of self-destruction. Yeah, which is nice. And I think that comes from like imagination and self-worth. When you like do think highly of yourself and you are proud of the person that you have are becoming.
Sorry, we came for break. What's the context?
I don't know. You asked me to like start a tangent.
No. I meant if you have a question, because you were scrolling on your notes.
Oh, it came back from this question you had asked about like your self-worth. Like, and how has yours changed in the last year? I think I've said I love you enough for it to like go up a little bit, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Is that a question?
Yeah, like how
no.
do you feel your self-worth this year has changed?
Year?
Yeah.
It's April right now.
The last time we filmed this was like the first one was April, right?
March.
Okay.
The vlog was April.
Oops. Yay.
I don't know about a year ago. Definitely less insecure than I was a year ago, but that's also development. 6 months ago, however, that's different. So I don't think I would have said, or at the time I said, I'm not proud of who I am, which I thought was like, oh, that makes sense. I mean, it's true, but also the amount of
the mindset shift of how my brain structured itself to fit that narrative of I don't like who I am. I like how I've gotten here. I like where I'm going, but I don't like who I am. The disconnect of self-worth, just like a switch. I don't feel worthy. I don't feel like I can talk to people. I don't feel like this person likes me. I'm still single. I'm trying to find someone, but also I'm not like, yes, there is a scarcity to it, but there's also a,
I mean, there.
well, it's,
And it gets more and more the more you know yourself. The scarcity, just like, it's gotten to the point where, like, for me, there's only one person, and I'll know who that is when I meet them because it will be the only person that I can stand. You know, for long periods of time. And there's like so many little things that I find so irritating about so many other people, and not in I don't like that person way, but I know that person isn't my person way.
I don't know if I would frame it as my person kind of thing, because I'm doing a paper on this, interdependence, codependence, what I'm calling the rebellious dependency conflict. That's a paper on its own. And obviously I don't want to control anyone. I don't want to make them feel like they have to conform to how I work. But there's this level of, here's how I expect myself to live. Do you want to join me?
Yes.
But also, how do you expect to live?
Right. And what are you willing to compromise in order to make those two worlds work?
Yeah. And then also feeling misunderstood, that I will say, this kind of goes with everything on podcast stuff, talking to you, talking to anyone else, that whatever we're talking about, I want to see how you think, how you work, how your mind ticks, how you treat yourself, how you listen to yourself. And the more I understand that, the more I understand, is that how I want you to talk to me?
Right.
And if it's not, then I don't want to. Right. But also at the same time, I also know the male sex drive is incredibly high. Mm-hmm. So there's also a very much, there was one.
I think each gender's sex drive is equal in a lot of capacities. I think women can satiate theirs a lot more easily.
Women can turn it off.
Yeah. Judging by my experience, I have been able to now. But when I was 10 years ago, there's no, your hormones are controlling your mind. And until you learn how to control your until your mind and your heart and your spirit all come together and take control of the flesh, then you are a slave to it. You are living in a very bare minimum version of yourself, just because you can't get out of, you can't go to the next step. You can't elevate your outwardly expression because you are living in the day-to-day of oh my God, I'm sad. My emotion, I can't do anything today because I'm sad. And it's well, maybe you're hormonally off balance because you're not eating correctly, you're not exercising, you haven't gotten out of bed in 3 weeks. You're not drinking any water, you're not doing basic human necessities, brushing your teeth, taking care of your appearance, making yourself feel like yourself again. And you're not taking any of those steps towards it. And it's no kidding.
To answer your question, 6 months ago, or the last 6 months, has been mostly attachment versus love. Mm-hmm. Knowing that I fall in love very quickly and very easily. So there's love deeply, love wisely. But at the same time, not that I can love someone without feeling like I have to be attached to them. And that emotional distinguishment is probably the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. Saying I don't have to be attached to this person, but I do like qualities I would want to find in a future woman that I want to be with.
And that is why platonic friendships are so important. Yeah.
But I also don't have too many of them.
Right. And nor should you. Nor should anybody. But I just truly believe that you shouldn't have a million friends that are your core people. Those people who can consistently show up for 100 people, that is rich in life. right? But very few people have that capacity to have that close net of huge amounts of friends. And I think that also takes communal support. Like, not only do you have the mental capacity to take on this many friends, but so does your family. And like, that's just it's a different lifestyle than a lot of people can maintain.
Just because I was going down more of the romantic aspect to it, the way I see it is that I don't have a lot of female friends. I can maintain 80
Yeah, you guys are so
male
easy
friends.
though. You go ooh and then the other goes rah. And then you roll with each other on the ground for an hour and you're good. You're besties. It's just different.
Hold up. You're not helping the allegations, all right?
They're there for a reason. I'll add to them.
So I'm very picky about who I'm friendly with for women.
Mm-hmm.
But also, that's why it's a lot easier to be friends with women who are already in relationships, because then I know like there's no way. Like I don't disturb that at all. Yeah. But that also means I can be friends with you. Well, to a limit, obviously. But like the problem with me is attachment too quickly when it should just be, hey, I love this person for who they are.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, this year I've lost a lot of male friends because of romantic feelings getting started and not reciprocated, because I have nothing to reciprocate. And losing those friendships is equally as important when you're like mastering discernment to discover what are my boundaries in my friendships with men. You know what I mean? And I have crossed friendship boundaries that I now know need to be set. Like, nobody's reading your mind. They have to be set. And if however they react to the set boundaries, that is what you need to know moving forward. Is that person going to stay in my life or are they not?
I think it was the first episode. You said you wanted to cut it out if it got to the thing. Sexual control. Mm-hmm. That women have control over sex. Mm-hmm. But you also want to have a husband without the sex before marriage. How, I guess the control aspect wouldn't be, you're not trying to control them.
Right. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It's like sex is designed for two people to figure out how to make life feel as good as possible for the rest of your lives.
So my thought process was, why, if you want to be with someone but you can't control them from like a sexual aspect, then how would you be able to have a guy before marriage?
Because I don't want to control him. Okay. Yeah,
was there a point in time when you did?
Yeah, I wanted to control the whole situation for the betterment of us. You know what I mean? But if they're not on that same page and they're avoiding the control, when you're trying to sway one to one side of a boat, you know, and if they sway with you all the way over, then the boat's going to collapse. And so there is like this, when that kind of situation is happening, in order for it to be balanced, from me pulling my control to them trying to run away from it, like that is what keeps the tension. Instead of riding like, hey, I'm going to sit in the most stable area of the boat, and so you can sit in the most stable area of the boat with me and we can just go down the like river together instead of trying to, you know, knock us off course all the time.
I think that was one of the things you said before, that you were a chaos creator. Mm-hmm. You're not as much of a chaos creator now?
Oh, I'm a chaos killer. Like, I don't want nothing. I don't want any chaos in my life. That I can only create the chaos, my controlled chaos for myself, but I'm never going to create chaos for somebody else's life. Like, I will never go out of my way, you know, to be inconsiderate, because going back to love, like, if you love yourself, you're taking into accountability who you are representing at all times. And that's you, you know, and you have to like you. So it's not that I care about my reputation per se, but I do care about how I feel about myself more than anything. And that's what I want to be able to show up and prove
to
myself. Yeah. And to other people. Like, I do think that being liked is important as long as you like who you are around them and you like who they are around you. And if you don't, then that's not people that, you know, you need to care about liking, but you should not be unkind to them just because you don't agree with anything that they've brought to the table. They just aren't your people. And stop wasting people's time who aren't your people. They need that time to go find theirs, you know?
We might have covered it earlier, but it's like 2 hours in, so I forgot. People who get into relationships because it's familiar with what their nervous system's familiar with, even if it's not what they need.
Mm-hmm. So that's most of them. Yeah. Yeah, that I
It's like the context of people who are in abusive childhoods or don't see a healthy relationship, but either between the mother and the father, or a healthy fatherly figure or a healthy motherly figure.
loves them properly.
But they've developed a defense for that. And so that defense becomes familiarity. So when they try to find someone to be in a relationship with, because they're familiar with that, maybe narcissistic traits or abusive traits, and it's not necessarily the entire family was narcissistic or abusive, but rather the ones that they remember. Like, because that's a psychological defense of, this is bad, I need to remember it. This is bad, but you don't remember the happy moments, what you focus on, all that good stuff. What would you say about relationships based on familiarity for comfort and not familiarity towards growth or familiarity with what's actually needed?
I think that a lot of those relationships, it all goes back to having insecurities at some point and lacking self-worth. And so much of that is built from who your parents say you are from a young age, right? Like, to have positive affirmations for your children, to tell them that they're powerful, to show them that they're loved. And that creates how they first talk about themselves and other people. And so when that is positive, then there is, so much more work ethic and all the good things that come from not having to put up with having been told X, Y, and Z about yourself that, come these self-worth issues that you have to, and those are the hardest to overcome. Insecurities are really difficult because we are constantly trying to compare our lives and ourselves and whatever to other people who are not living their own version of their reality, right? And so all of this stems from a lack of self-worth in both sides, especially when people find themselves in these relationships with, toxic, abusive, chaotic situations with friends or with, romantic partners. They just don't know how to deal. Like, they don't think that they're worth finding something better. So they, you just get trapped in these situations. And like in the last relationship, I was like, okay, like, this is my life for the next at least 18 years. Well, it's like you get, and it's okay. And it's like, just get out, just leave, you will find yourself happier in a lower point of your life than you will ever find with them at the highest that you guys are going to be able to give each other.
Yeah. We adore the ones who ignore us and ignore the ones who adore us.
That's such a sad way to be, but yeah, it is true.
Do you know Will Cunningham?
Yeah.
For better or for worse?
Yeah, I know.
For better?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Love is not conditional. It is riddled with condition. I am an objectively imperfect creature. Do I love this person and their imperfections? Am I willing to understand that if I am to be a fluid human being and grow, learn, detract from, dive headfirst into, and be willing to be pliable and mold myself to meet the better version of me at every step in my life's journey, am I willing to provide that same grace to the other person? That is what love is.
That's long-winded, but expected from Will. I think love is putting your promise to God above anything else that your flesh might have to suffer through. And
whoa. Damn.
And to take care of the person that you have been gifted to to find in life, every single moment of every single day, is like it's like the ultimate honor in life to be able to be like, I sacrifice the rest of my life to be in servitude to this person, thanks to God. And consider them in everything. Consider their feelings in every situation, like be able to respond in a manner that is respectful and that, the other person is appreciative of, like the whole nine, whatever that looks like. As long as it is not a toxic situation, as long as you're not being abused in it. Like that's completely different. That is not what love, that's not the love we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw something on Instagram that was like, it's like white girls who are in a car or not white girls, but it's like three guys emulating white girls.
Even better.
It's like women who are ignoring clear signs. He's like slapping me and hurting me. He must care about you. Yay!
Yeah.
He was hooking up with this girl yesterday, but today he chooses you.
And again, that's like the self-worth issue. Like it all comes down to insecurity. Yeah.
Do you have a separation between admiration and attraction?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100% for sure. For example, I'm not attracted to anyone and I admire a lot of people. So yeah, I can admire an attractive person, but I am not attracted to that person until I know that he's right for my life. You know what I mean? And that everything makes sense. Like, I am not attracted to married, taken men. You know what I mean? Like, at all. I don't care who you are. I'm not attracted to celebrities. I don't know them. I'm not attracted, but I can appreciate an attractive person.
The opposite, the other side to it, is that falling in love with the idea and not the reality.
So many people do that. I mean, you look at someone, you're like, God, I want you to live this. I want you to be this fantasy that I have in my head. But unfortunately, you're not going against, with the written character. You're going with the villain. And I don't want to go with the villain. I want you to be this person. And they never will be. So you might as well find someone who kind of looks like them and try again.
Isn't that like one of the most read books genre, romantic fantasy? Well, not for you. I know you don't read it, but
Yeah, 100%, because women are dying to get some flowers, and the people in the books at least make their wives gardens. You know what I mean? So there's this inflamed idea of sitting behind dragons and all of this stuff in these books they just want to feel a romance, like a romantic moment in their day, because they're not getting it, either because they don't have a partner or because their partner's not engaging in that way. I just hate those books.
3 different tangents, depending on which one you go to, and choose one of them. You don't have to go through all of them. Changing others versus... There's on one side, it's like you trying to change someone to improve them, but also you can't actually change someone. You can just influence them. Mm-hmm. And it's not your responsibility to make them happy. It's their responsibility to make them happy. 1 tangent. 2, which I think you mentioned on the first episode, building that empire / creating a garden, but having 2 people creating a garden, but also wondering why they aren't hey, it's a garden, but you're also creating a garden. I like that garden, but it's this is my garden. I'm trying to attract you. Or 3rd tangent, there is no special ingredient. In order to believe something to be special, it's not that things are inherently special, but that you believe they're special that makes them so.
Yeah. I love the last one. I think we are born with so much belief and imagination because our worlds are so tiny. And we want to see what's out and explore everything, and we're stuck in a house with a backyard. For a lot of people, that's what they get. They get their neighborhood, they get their backyard, they get, we don't travel enough with our kids because we're unable. It's because everyone's working, 700 days a week and just trying to provide. So you have the majority that's not getting any external education, and they have to like believe and believe and believe, and then they explore the world and they go outside their block, and they're like, oh, this isn't all it's cracked up to be. And then their imagination starts shrinking because reality is starting to hit in. But as soon as you start to believe again, and your imagination can come back to life, and you can put yourself in a whole nother world to enjoy while you're living in the reality that might not be exactly what you want it to be yet, but you're working towards it. So I think that's what manifestation is. It's just constantly putting yourself, you have the big picture and you see what you want to believe, but the reality is like, that's just the path that you're on. And every single step that you take that feels like you're getting there, you replicate that more and more.
Is it manifestation or is it gratitude?
I believe it's called gratitude. I think people say they're trying to manifest, when in reality, they're just creating gratitude.
Is it manifestation long-term, gratitude short-term?
I think gratitude's forever. And I only think gratitude is in the present.
Short-term as in short and present gratitude, present gratitude, overall manifestation.
Right. I think that, but people's idea is like, I think manifestation is a buzzword right now. And I mean, it's been around forever, but I think it's just being talked about more and more because people are discovering gratitude.
That's fair. Yeah.
And like having something to look forward to. When people aren't in a gratitude state of being, they're just in a looking in the past state of being, which is depressing for most people. Like we didn't grow up in these perfect lives.
So belongingness complex.
Okay.
An intense, urgent, or abnormal yet conscious, spontaneous inclination or incitement to something, usually unpremeditated action towards something that promises enjoyment or satisfaction in its attainment, especially for something unattainable.
I think these quotes need to be shorter.
So longingness, that's definition. That's a super definition of longingness that goes from what longingness is plus all the sub definitions, and I just merged it all into one, which makes a lot of sense.
It's interesting because I think
it's an interpretation. It's an opinion.
If you long for a partner to go through your longing, just like, let's be like, I'm at 100% longing, right? But like, and I don't have a person. I have to take on 100% of this responsibility. And what people, I feel, think is that if I get another person, then that person's supposed to take 50% of my longingness. That takes it away. So at least I only have, the rest of my life that I'm longing for, but at least I have somebody to take it over. When in reality, you also take on their 50% of longingness. So you've squashed your longingness into like something that's about to explode because none of the rest of it has gone away. But then you're adding their longingness, and who knows how much longingness that is, but you've just taken on 50% of it. So now you're like at 110% longingness, and you're also trying to make it work with this other person. When you join together in gratefulness, then the longingness there's been long gone. You're two 100% grateful people. I can take on 100% of their gratefulness. It's not going to affect my 100%, but I can give them my 100%.
I don't know if this is true or not, and I've heard it multiple times, and it makes sense. A healthy relationship is two people giving 60%.
Always make sure the cup is overflowing a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Emotional debt. Oof. It's one of the sections on this one, on the self-worth one. I'm still working on it. Emotional debt, which includes the euphoria of validated dreams, past mistakes, past justification, the desires of the heart, owing someone, ownership, responsibility of letting go, the dream outcome, low effort, high reward. Basically, you do something in the past and you justify a present action based on the past, even though in the past you didn't expect to do this. So, for example, the absolute zero mindset. Mm-hmm. When you have $10,000 in the bank and you're like, I'm saving up for a big thing, and then all goes to zero because you're like, I invested in this. This is the responsibility of holding on and having I'm just saving this. It's just going to the side. I'm not looking at it. I'm not touching it. It's just doing something. And it's like, oh, I want to buy a house. All right, I'm going to use the entire thing, put it toward the down payment.
it's like now you're back at zero.
Right.
And now there's that level of self-induced scarcity. Is there any tangents with that? I don't feel like I have any tangents to go with.
Do you think I remember what I was talking about? It's gone as soon as it leaves my mouth. There's no filter.
She's got a big mouth too. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, yay.
Oh no.
Okay.
Competition.
Oh, gosh. Oh. Every time I listen to that podcast, which I would like listen to it again to remind myself who I was a year ago. And that's like the one thing that I was like, weird. I don't know. Like I have never admitted that out loud. That I'm like super competitive.
And wanting to be the best the first time.
And yeah, I'm over that. Like there's
Yeah. Yeah, I'm over that.
I don't relate to that stuff anymore because it has stopped me from doing so many things. And I got so sick and tired of not just going out and enjoying something. Like I can't dance at all.
Sure hope not.
At all can I not dance. But I have gone out to line dance because, you know, a friend of mine really, really enjoys it. I really, really enjoy her. And it's something she does consistently. So if I want to see her, I can just go line dancing with her. And before, it had stopped me from even showing up for my friend. And that just felt so unsupportive. And like, I'm terrible and I love it. You know, like it's so much fun. The community is adorable. Like I get it. But so many things I do now are because I love someone else, not because I need to compete with anyone.
The wanting to be the best first time, is that like a perfectionism mindset?
Yeah, I think it's an ADHD thing. I think it's a perfectionism mindset for sure. And I think it's also just, there's like I forgot the name of it. It's like you have to have a fair and even trial for yourself in every single thing that you do, or you feel like you're failing everything. You know what I mean? It like feels so much bigger than a rejection something, but it feels so much bigger.
Form of failure.
Right. Than it needed to. Like you just like fell off a skateboard. All you had to do is like get back on again. You know, like you just fell off because you didn't know something critical in order to stay on. And so then you got to figure out what that thing that is critical, which is why I love learning new things from professionals. And I'm just going to stand by that forever and ever. But like the ones who are self-taught are incredible to have the tenacity to keep doing something over and over and over again.
Why worthy opponent?
To know that you can...
Context. One of Emily's things is worthy opponent. It's like one of her, I don't know, taglines or something.
It came from my first horse that was like, my baby was named Worthy Opponent.
Yeah, the tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
She also has a Simba tattoo.
He was like super critical. I really didn't understand his name when I was a kid, but now being grown and trying to be one every day is like, not only when I step into the arena in life, do I want to be somebody who is worthy of showing up to a fight for my life, for my kid, for my this, for my that, for my business, for my friends. Like, am I worthy enough to do that? Like to represent someone in that way? Because I think being able to stand up for yourself and everyone else and set boundaries in a clear and concise and kind and the correct way given any situation is something really honorable.
Why? Well, I was just thinking about this. It's a thought experiment. Why worthy opponent and not something like faithful companion?
I don't know, his companion.
Well, it's with something versus against it.
It just sounds passive. Yeah, I'm not against anything. Like, I'm not against the truth. You know, I'm not against, I'm against doing the wrong thing when you know how to do it correctly. I'm against moral and ethical.
Do you get your energy more from opposition, or do you get it more with congruence?
It depends on the opposition. I mean, I prefer to get along with people. Yeah, I really prefer to get along with people.
I'm going from like the complaining, competitive? Are you able, when you see something that's more objective, something that's like, this is stopping me, does that give you more energy to do stuff that you would normally be uncomfortable with? Or
Yeah, I think it gives me the balls to, for sure. I really don't love confrontation, but I'm no longer afraid of it. And mostly because I just disengage. It has nothing to do with me. All I can do is give you my opinion on something of everything I've lived through. And however you want to take your opinion of whatever you've lived through and tell me I'm wrong is fine. Like, and maybe I can learn something from it. I'm not against changing something at any time if I've seen that another way can be better for me. But just because it's better for you doesn't mean it's better for me. But I'll take it into consideration, I guess, for 1 second. But it doesn't do any damage to self-worth. Like nothing can, it's such a nice place to be. It's so, just get rid of insecurities. I don't know how to tell anyone to do it, but just make them go poof. Because life is so much better on the other side.
how do you make it go poof? If all you see is insecurity and all you know is insecure, everything you've got. So, I don't know the best way to phrase this. Trained. It's like the opposite of learned helplessness. It's trained successes. Or we remember our mistakes, but are trained by our successes, but are a product of our successes. Like, I remember a lot of my mistakes, but the reason why I am the way I am is because I succeeded in something and became that because it validated something that was small at the time, and now it's become a personality.
Yeah.
How would you get rid of?
I don't know how to help people with it because I just don't.
If someone was asking for your advice on it.
I mean, I know the question. I just have no idea how to. I would just be like, hey, just come hang out with me for a day.
Thought experiment. This guy did not. Okay, I'm not gay. Okay, this guy didn't. I'm trying to be like, a woman calls you or something. Needs your advice. This guy is ignoring me. He's
Get rid of him.
Miscommunication.
Dump
Or
him.
what do you call it? No, it's a limerence stage. You haven't met him. You don't know if
care.
feels safe around him yet.
I don't care. Get rid of him.
Okay, cool.
No, that's not your person. If you are questioning somebody's behavior and character a day in, like, that you don't have to do that to yourself.
But what about grace?
What about grace?
Giving.
They can have grace away from me.
Okay.
I don't dislike that. I mean, I don't know them. Like, and if you're already creating issues with your character and your behavior, for me to question you or call my friend and be like,
They're not even aware of it.
but you're like, the lack of communication there is not.
Yeah, but they don't even look. No, never mind.
Get rid of it. Next circumstance. On both ends. If like if he's like trying to be communicative and she's not like picking it up correctly, and it's just a mess from the get. Just
let it go.
find someone else. Yeah.
Basically cover everything. What do you want to talk about? I am now off script or off notes.
What do you think is going to be happening in the next year?
I'll go wherever I'm supposed to go.
Yeah. But do you have any like
Pre-planned?
No, not plans, but like anything you feel is coming? I just want to know what we're going to talk about next year. We can like
Next year.
try to.
This is supposed to be a month-to-month thing, according to the second episode.
No.
This is my favorite weekly. This is supposed to be
Oh
weekly?
God, I couldn't do anything weekly.
But you wanted to last year.
I don't know where that came from, but my schedule is hot. So
Actually, it's really cold right now, or relatively cold.
yeah, I didn't realize we were gonna film this in the middle of winter in April.
I feel like there should be more.
We covered a lot.
I know, but there should be more. I guess I was just expecting this to be like 3 hours long.
Is it not 3 hours?
Yeah, almost. It's like 2.5, which doesn't feel enough. Because I ruined the second episode. Oh, by the way, anyone listening, now it's off script. Like, it might go wherever.
I didn't know we were on a script.
A script as in I have notes I can go tangents on. Now I don't.
Clearly, I'm the tangent queen.
The only
I
way...
apologize for the interruption.
I'm just going to do this one because it's a long one, and then maybe if something goes off of it. The only way out of it seems to be for someone to love Pimlico, to love it with a transcendental tie and without any earthly reason. If there arose a man who loved Pimlico, then Pimlico would rise into ivory towers and golden pinnacles. Pimlico would attire herself as a woman does when she is loved. For decoration is not given to hide horrible things, but to decorate things already adorable. A mother does not give her child a blue bow because he is so ugly without it. A lover does not give a girl a necklace to hide her neck. If men loved Pimlico as mothers loved children, arbitrarily, because it is theirs, Pimlico in a year or two might be fairer than Florence. Some readers will say that this is a mere fantasy. I answer that this is actually history of mankind. This, as a fact, is how cities grow great. Go back to the darkest roots of civilization and you will find them knotted round some sacred stone or encircling some sacred well. People first paid honor to a spot and afterwards gained glory for it. Men did not love Rome because she was great. She was great because they had loved her.
Exactly. Know your self-worth first.
Yes, queen.
No, because you have to be able to present yourself as somebody who knows they're worthy of being loved. And you are. Everyone is worthy of being loved, but you have to approach it. And hey,
ADHD.
You have to approach it in a way that shares you're not going to sacrifice your self-love and how much you can love yourself. Put yourself above all. You have to put your own mask on so you can take care of others as the best you can.
What draws the line between healthy selfishness and narcissism?
Oh, because narcissism comes from a place of deep self-hate.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they hate themselves, as they should. They suck, like, big time.
I have a paper on narcissism, so if you actually want to read the research behind it, it's so different, but I'm not going to argue an opinion.
It's a inflamed form of self-love because they don't have any in their soul. They just...
Narcissism is a...
I lived with two, so...
Narcissism, based on what I researched...
Yeah, because you've had your experience.
Right.
Excellent.
Is maybe self-hate, but it typically is an underdeveloped from childhood.
Yeah. Oh, it's all from childhood, for sure.
Children
they are massive
are
children.
naturally narcissistic, but they don't outgrow that as time goes on because there's three different ways of looking at it. I forgot what they were. I have a paper on it. I just don't have that paper with me unless I put it in this one, in which case I probably forgot that I put it in this one. I put a lot of sexual strategy in here and then sexual strategy theory. All right, there's a difference. Forgot about it. Are you familiar with emasculation?
Emasculation? Yeah, of course. That's a strategy. That's a tactic in the toxic toolbox.
Oh, gosh.
That's just dislike for men. That's just putting all of your past trauma onto people who might be undeserving. Probably not. It's fine.
How women emasculate men. Alison Armstrong. Withhold appreciation, admiration, participation, sex. Don't let them impress you. Compare unfavorably. Don't trust them / assume insincerity. Don't need them for anything important. Be disinterested in their passions. Complain, criticize, interrupt. Ignore them, roll your eyes, scoff. Take over something you gave them to do. Demean their earning abilities or virality. Shut down their storytelling and mothering, treating them like a 5-year-old. Masculate, to deprive of strength, vigor, or spirit. Weaken, to deprive of virility or procreative power. Castrate, to remove disempowerment, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there's men who pay for that, but, like, you don't... Like, that's not a real relationship. That's just a kink that they're, like, using to shove deep in a hole, which I think is a lot of where these unappreciated men, the first thing they know to do is, like, go primal and sexual. And so they, like, it's not like they're trying to cheat on someone. They're trying to, like, fill...
Yeah, being emotionally attached without sexually attached.
Right. And it's...
Or financially attached versus emotionally attached. And,
Right.
It's weird.
It is weird. It's so weird.
We're in a relationship, but I just like him for the financial stuff.
Well, we're in a really, and it's like, that's like such a tiny part of what it's about. You know what I mean? And it is about, partnership is about everything. It's about all of the things all put together in the best laid foundation that you can. And people just get so caught up in it being the thing. The lust and the greed are the two biggest sins on this planet. And it's sad it's sad on both sides to witness that happening all the time. You know, I think men find this really cheap idea of a woman, and women like find a relationship with someone who is a completely empty relationship with somebody who's going to fulfill wants versus needs. And needs have to be met before the wants are even a cherry on top of that sundae.
That's all we are. Men are just Sundays.
Sundays are delicious. We need Sundays.
Sugar and fat and dog.
No, they're delicious. They should be the end of every day.
I don't know. Look, a dog.
You got another one.
You got another one. Look, I got a dog. It's so fluffy. Sorry. Like I said, this is off track right now. I think I burned out, so I'm just going wherever.
That's a fun topic.
What are we talking about?
Just the degradation of men in this society. And like, I think men are wonderful. I couldn't live without quite a few of them.
What would you say to someone who's 20 about this, maybe the social aspect between women of, he doesn't need that, just degrade him a little bit or something. Then he'll come back rushing back to you, egotistical, insecure women. How would you, but like deep down you also know, or actually it could be men too. It's like, women are like that. No. Yeah, kind of, not all the time. What would you say to someone who knows deep down that that's not how life is, but just because of what they're exposed to, it seems like that's reality?
Form your own one on your own time. And if those are the people that you hang out with, like if that's where you're getting 90% of your information is from your friends who are feeding this negative.
But you want the social construct. You want to be a part of a friend group, but that's your friend group.
Yeah. I don't want to be part of that friend group no more. I'll find my own community, and every place has it. You just have to seek it, you know? But like with church and with any one of my other hobbies, like I have a community in those hobbies strictly around those hobbies. And then I have like other people who come out of those hobbies and like become part of my regular life. And like study those people and study the people who you look up to and you admire and you're not attracted to, you know? And so you can see them for who they are to you instead of having this facade on who they need to present to somebody else in a certain scenario. Do you feel like you...
Ooh, a question. What?
Yay. Do you feel like you put on like masks in certain situations?
I'm brown. Of course I do.
In social circumstances.
Everyone that I know is somewhere on the spectrum. There's like maybe 10% that's not. Yeah. ADHD, OCD, couple autists. Somewhere where you just... What?
I don't know what like the PC word for these like all these names is anymore. It's just there's so many names for the same thing. It's just your brain is a little bit different. All right? It's okay. You like weird little kid things. But you don't need to bring those things into public all the time. You know what I mean? Like, what are we furries? What are we doing here?
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. From behavioral inhibition, sustained attention, and executive functions, constructing a unified theory of ADHD. ADHD comprises of a deficit of behavioral inhibition. A theoretical model is constructed that links inhibition to 4 executive neuropsychological functions that appear to depend on it for their effective execution. A working memory. Well, not A.
That'd be nice.
1, working memory. Well, these are what it affects. Working memory, self-regulation of effective motivational arousal, internalization of speech, and reconstitution, behavioral analysis, and synthesis.
Extended to ADHD, the model predicts that ADHD should be associated with secondary impairments in these 4 executive abilities and the motor control they afford. From the role of attachment styles in ADHD, meta-analytical review from the perspective of transactional development model. This is from the abstract, not from the actual paper. Results show that insecure attachment highlighted significant correlations with ADHD inattention and hyperactivity symptoms. Dismissive avoidant attachment was associated with inattention features. Ambivalent preoccupied attachment correlated with hyperactivity symptoms. Disorganized attachment was associated with, I just duplicated that. Cross-sectional correlations between insecure attachment and ADHD symptoms were comparable to longitudinal ones. This might suggest a transactional development model of ADHD considering the mutual reinforcement effects of insecure attachment patterns and core clinical features of the disorder. So, I know a lot of people who are something, right?
Yeah.
And not managing, because I can influence, I can suggest, but I can't say you're doing it wrong. This is a better way of doing it, because that's not, everybody's different.
Well, there's times for that. Like if you're like teaching someone how to shoot a gun and you're like, keep your finger off.
But that's a logical thing. That's a logical scenario. Most, it's not what you say, it's not what you do, it's not how, it's not what you say, it's not what you do, it's how you make someone feel. Mm-hmm. I forgot the actual quote. It's actually just attributed to someone. Anyways, do I put on masks for different people? I have a discretion of how much I show myself to other people. With you, I will give you a full-on text about all the things that I thought I did wrong about something, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also keeping that in the back of my mind while it's happening. I'm like, that's something. You said this. It's like, okay, cool. And if I think about it enough that it's like, I need to send you a text, I will do it. 4 people might ever get that. Mm-hmm. That's the extent. Everyone else is like, oh, cool. I'm going to say the stupidest thing to you. Yeah. Or make a dumb reference to something else. I protect how much I care about something to such a large extent that because I know how much resources is required to remember, to care, to consider someone else, but also to understand that I might forget stuff, they might forget stuff, and that's okay. Do I put on different masks for people? No. Do I change the amount I care about that person depending on who they are? Yes. Mm-hmm. Someone who I don't feel safe around, like I can love someone, I can care about them, I can trust them, but I don't have to feel safe around them. Correct. And if I don't feel safe around them, they don't get a lot of attention. I'll give them a hug or something. That's it. They don't get my attention. They don't get my emotional resources. I'm diverting that to something else that feels better for me.
Correct.
Wow. I feel validated.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. And I think while you're trying to figure out if somebody is a safe person, watching how they treat another person, like you are no different to anybody than how they treat someone else in anything that might break, at some point, if something goes sideways between you two, how they treat another situation that went sideways is exactly how they're going to treat yours. Until they figure out how to treat situations, with kindness, like I don't need to put myself in that situation with them until they're a trustworthy person with my life.
Side tangent, there was a meme on Instagram that was like, you never know someone entirely until you see them with slow internet.
Yes, exactly. And I had it slow internet until like 3 years ago. So, and now it's still slow.
So I can trust someone, but I don't have to feel safe around them.
Yeah.
Because if I can say...
You can trust them to the degree at which you need to trust them in the situation that you're in.
I can trust them for being honest. Mm-hmm. Like, this is who you are. I can trust you for that. But I don't trust you with being able to handle my emotions.
Yes.
Like, my emotions are, and as with anyone else, my emotions are fragile.
Yeah.
You drop that? No. I'm never being emotionally vulnerable with you. I'm not talking to you about this. It will say purely logical, purely stupid. I don't care. It's not emotional. Yeah. I will take that to someone else who does care, who will spend the time to actually listen to me.
I think that is so much of what discernment is too. And it's knowing what parts of you can give to somebody else without blaming them for breaking it. Like if I know somebody, let's say, is super clumsy, right? I'm not going to give them my grandmother's prized vase and be like, hey, you're responsible for taking this to your house and putting it on your, kitchen counter where the cat jumps and where you're cooking and expecting you not to break it. You know what I mean? Until that person has proven to me that they are not clumsy with their whatever it is, their emotions, then I don't have to go guard mine so hard. Because guarding yourself is a form of self-love. It's not you don't want to put yourself out there to get more broken. Like, you healed. You're good. So just give those pieces of you to somebody isn't going to hurt them.
Yeah.
And don't hurt them in the interim.
4 tangents.
Okay.
You said blaming the other person. I wouldn't blame them. I would blame myself, which goes on the tangent of fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. It's like, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that.
But that's where the discernment comes up. Yeah. But those are the lessons you have to learn.
Yeah. And then third tangent, which is, or side mini tangent, people who cross 4 lanes on the highway. You are making a left turn signal. All right, this is a 3-lane highway. There's 2 left lanes and 1 right lane. All right, so it is a 6-lane highway, right?
I hope we're not talking about me, but yeah.
You are making I'm going to say you because the second person is so much easier, but not you. I don't really care. The way you drive on these back roads, I would trust you in a city, no problem.
Perfect.
I don't trust other people in a city, but
Me
I do.
neither.
I hate cities so much.
Cities so much.
Arlington
oh my God, they make me.
Reston is about as far as I go. I don't even. Yeah.
My shoulders by the end of the day, I'm like, shoot it down.
My name is Emily. I just did a trap workout and I feel jacked.
But I know I'm gonna get myself through the city, no problemo. I'm just so worried about everyone else.
So, anyways, they're making that left turn, right? And you're like, okay, left turn, cool. You're not a problem. I'm in the 2nd lane in the center. Left turn lane. Right turn. Okay, fine. I'll ease off on the gas. Goes for the other side of the road, makes a right turn, and I'm looking at this, and there's no one else on the road. I'm like, thank goodness. And I'm like, every time I see that, I get pissed for like half a second.
We're not all perfect, Aaron.
Well, I'm not perfect either, but
no. So I'm saying, you're allowed to get pissed for half a second.
Okay, there's a level of how much I tolerate drama.
Yeah.
I love drama. I love making drama. I love inciting emotions out of people. I love emotional reactions, but to a limit.
Yeah.
I will shut it down as soon as it's not needed anymore, or not always, but most of the time. Anyway, so back to the crossing 4 lanes. If I'm making a left turn, I was supposed to make a right, I'm going to go all the way around. I don't care how long it takes. I made a mistake. I'm going to fill it out.
Yeah, not put anyone else's life at jeopardy.
Not even that. It's like, I will learn, okay, next time I'm doing something, I will plan it out 5 minutes ahead instead of thinking about, hey, Lady Gaga's on the music and I'm singing using my brain off. My heart's like, okay, this is the dumbest music right now. So making mistakes. You have to lose. You have to fail. If you do not fail, then you cannot win. If you don't even try, you are not going to win. Will you fail again? Probably. Not every mistake that you make is exactly the same. You are a human being. Life would be really boring if you were not.
Yeah. I don't fail as much anymore, but
that's from Emily, in case you didn't know.
I just think that if you're not failing as often as you possibly can, you are wasting so much of your potential. And if you're failing in directions of the place that you want to be, then you can't mess up. You just have to get back up, chuck the dirt off, and try again. There's no path forward without failure. You will never succeed and win every single time. You're going to lose 1,000 times, but at least, as whoever has said this, Albert Einstein, if you didn't try the light bulb the 1,011th time or whatever, we would not have any light. And it starts from there, right? So you are always going to have more failures than you do wins.
For context, Emily's homeschooled. Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison, yeah.
Albert Einstein.
I forgot where I was going with this, to be honest, in the middle of it. So, Yeah.
What's the difference between manifestation, entitlement, and potential?
So potential is the future at which you are reaching. Entitlement, is that the middle one? Oh God, entitlement sucks. Feeling like you're owed something because of something in the past that you have not brought into the present. And then the first one was
Manifestation.
Manifestation. As I said, I think manifestation is just a paved road of gratitude. Just laying brick by brick.
That was you said potential, and I was like, I know we've covered entitlement before. I don't know if we covered it today.
What did we cover today?
I have no idea. I know entitlement was one of the things, like women are more entitled, like or there's more entitlement, like I deserve this. I
think it's because we like started this princess treatment thing, which I don't not disagree with. I just don't think that everyone should be giving you princess attention. Like that, you know what I mean? I think that is
Don't
saved
expect
for
everything.
one person.
Yeah, don't expect
and you're
everything out of it.
also giving that person the royal attention that they deserve in their lives. You know?
Reciprocity.
Yeah.
What
I think it's just expected that everyone should be giving me this attention. No, I don't expect that.
Yeah.
Though I should never open a door.
I'm going to close.
Anyone of
Anytime
my future.
we're both going through a door, I will close it deliberately and just
I'll
watch.
Oh, wait, right there. I know your mama taught you better than that. There ain't no way.
You're an exception. Deliberate inconvenience.
I know your mama didn't. I'll call your mama right now.
Kind of what you were saying on entitlement. People will not don't expect everything out of one person. Then side tangent off of that, I typically try to find the best out of other people. Mm-hmm. Find one thing that they're really good at, that they really like, or they just do
They're
naturally.
a lot more bearable that way.
Something that's more intrinsically motivated than expecting like, you can do this and you can do this. And that's like,
no, they can't.
You can't do everything. You can, just not right now. Not with me.
Right.
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, and there's a reason that like so many people have one experience with somebody and another experience with another, like with the same person. So like, they're like, oh, I never even knew that about that person. It's like, yeah, because they're not the same person.
Don't expect the capability of something you've never seen. Don't expect someone to be capable of something you've never seen them be capable of.
And I think that's also where trust is built. Because if I say like, I'm really good at chopping down a tree with a chainsaw, and you're like,
you can't chop down a tree with a chainsaw.
Yeah, I can. I have. Oh no. Okay, so you know what I mean? You cut down a tree with a chainsaw. Like, you wouldn't expect me to do that until I've proven to you that I can do it, right? You're not going to expect me to hold on to you. Oh, God. Okay. All right. We're going to cut this out completely.
Here's a screw. Let me use a hammer to put it into the wall.
But I mean, I could. No, I'm not even going to try to cover that one. That one was...
Can't.
No.
You're going to create a hole that's not covered by the...
I think we're done. End episode.
I got 2 questions.
What's up?
Oh, yeah, of course. Now just like, ooh, look at this tangent.
I have things to do.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
That's not a question.
No.
What's the second question?
Sorry, 3 questions. Okay. One is there anything else you want to talk about that you wanted to say before?
No, I think I've cleared the air on it.
Another year goes by and now it's like, well, I should have said that last year.
I can't wait for what the future has to offer, and...
I don't need the monologue. All right, so 2 questions.
It's gonna...
3 questions, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
And I might have asked you this last year. What would you say to yourself 10 years from now? What would you say to yourself 3 years ago? And what would you have said to yourself last year?
Well, I think I did say it to myself last year when I was like, get it together. Like, let's now I have built the foundation. Let's slam on the acceleration and see where we can go. And it's been such a journey and a ride, and I'm so excited to do that. And then 3 years ago, I think I would just given myself the grace to be really ugly for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, be really hurt, be really broken, figure out how to pick myself back up again over and over and over and over again. And when you're stuck in that, you kind of forget that there was a lot that built up to put you in that space. So, like, of course, you're going to be a little tattered and torn.
What would you have told yourself last year?
I already did. I was like, slam on the,
Oh, no.
slam on the accelerator,
then
bitch.
What was
Let's
it?
go.
No, what about 10 years from now?
I just hope I get to tell myself that I'm proud of myself, that I like kept the forward momentum. I don't know what that looks like. You know what I mean? But I know it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. It's going to be peaceful. It's going to be filled with travel and, enjoyment and figuring out who I am in this world.
Well, what would you tell that person?
I hope that I'm proud of I hope that I'm like proud of me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You're speaking the third. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. And you did it. Like, yay. I hope you're wearing a better sweater though.
Anyways, last
Cashmere,
thing.
ideally.
A chainsaw chopping down a tree.
Dang it. It was just an analogy.
I can't. It's recurring in my brain. Emily outside, sweating profusely in the hot summer, like
No, not
102 degree weather, chopping down a tree with a chainsaw that isn't turned on. So it's like
I'm like more of a forager these days. I'm not like a brute. I'd really like to not be a brute force machine. No trees.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Oh,
again.
I'm so sorry. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it next year.
Next year. This is a yearly thing now?
Yeah, my
This is going to be a weekly thing. Oh, it's a yearly thing. Ah, it's a century thing.
I don't know what I got.
Every decade we'll do one.
This is your like legacy project.
Hour.
What?
So that would be 2 hours, 40 minutes.
Dang. What do we talk about?
You'll hear it soon enough.
Woohoo!